What's up, you guys? It's your buddy Kaiju. Welcome back to another Transformers figure review. Today we are reviewing the Triple Changer Deluxe Class Revenge of the Fallen Soundwave. Yes, it's a Soundwave, and he looks nothing like his can't remember. Lord help me. His first generation's self. Soundwave was in the movie for a brief amount of time. He was up in space and he connected to the satellite and he hacked into the Nest satellites, and he heard all their conversations. You know, Nest being, I forgot what Nest actually stood for, but it was the Autobots and the humans, and they were an alliance and they went after Decepticons all around the world. And this guy hacked into the satellite and listened to other conversations, and then he alerted the other Decepticons. That's how they located the piece of the spark and the location of Megatron from the first movie whenever he got killed by Sam Witwicky. I always like saying it. Witwicky. Okay, enough of that. Now, this isn't my most favorite figure. As we all know, my most favorite figure is Bumblebee, and he's sitting over there on my shelf. I will do a shelf video after I'm done showing off all the Transformers. I'm not completely done yet, but he does rank up there in my favorite figures. Oh, hit my stand. Let's look at the detail of this figure. For a deluxe class figure, he is pretty detailed. I mean, I love this head sculpt. I mean, I feel like this head sculpt fits perfectly for Soundwave, and he has that Decepticon look. I mean, I got some Transformers that don't really have a Decepticon look. Let me see. I can't think of one offhand, but I do know I have a Transformer. It's either an Autobot or a Decepticon. Oh, it was Ironhide. Not Ironhide, Armorhide. Ironhide's cousin. But he was an Autobot, but he had the face of a Decepticon. You know, I feel like this head sculpt fits him very nicely. You can see sculpted detail in here. I mean, just look at that face. I mean, there's no light piping. As you can see, no light piping. But he is detailed, man. You know, for a deluxe class figure, get some sculptedness, that red right there. Some looks like purplish color right here. But sadly, this here is hollow. You know, but that's mainly because of his transformation, because this little part right here fits in there. We'll get into that a little bit later. Get this blue piece right here. Got these toes. I mean, I like his feet. His feet are like Decepticon feet, and that probably sounds weird. Come around here to the back, and this is his second head, where he was up in space. This here does not articulate it. We'll get into that. You know, got that nice, like, it's like I don't know if you could pick it up on camera, but it's like a metallic silver. Then we got these translucent blue pieces here. You know, just look at the detail in this. This is pretty cool. I mean, look at this. You know, this is actually in empty space right here. Wish they could have filled that in somehow. You got some detail right here, which is pretty cool. You know, he is detailed. You know, for a deluxe class figure, he's got some detail in him, and his joints are a little loose. You know, whenever I was younger, through years of playing with them. Now, since I'm older, you know, they just sit on the shelf, so I'm not really worried about them breaking so much. I mean, if they break, it's because I'm reviewing them. But I don't think they're going to break. I mean, whenever I move them around, the plastic feels pretty sturdy. Let's get into the articulation of this figure. His head, man. He can look pretty far down. As you can see, he looks all the way down. That's mainly due to his transformation, but you can't really tell if it's a transformation or not. I mean, he's just like, and he can look pretty far up. Looking straight, looking up. and he can just, without moving the piece that's for transformation, he still looks down pretty far and just lift his chin up and he comes all the way down. And then he has like this armpit joint right here. I mean, I have it kind of disassembled. I mean, he's supposed to be like this, but I just feel like he's just, like bleh. So I keep these up a little, and that's due to his transformation to make him look like he's like big and buff and I'm gonna kick your butt kind of way. But it's on a ball joint, so get moving this way, go up and down, come in and out. Has a whole 360 range of motion. I'm not gonna do it because this here is in the way. I just don't feel like messing with it. Have an upper bicep swivel and a bicep bend. Have a bend at the elbow, very far bend at the elbow, way more than 90 degrees. And then he has this blade right here. I forgot to show the blade. It has a few sculpted lines into it. A little bit more detail on this side. He had two of them, but sadly, the other one, like, I used to keep these things, and like I had him laying down one time, and like this thing here was bent, and I did the hair dryer trick, but even the hair dryer trick wouldn't work, so I just left it off. It popped on right here. It doesn't change anything with the transformation or not. I mean, I will have to pop this one off just so both sides match, but not a big deal. We got a nice Decepticon logo right here. I wish they would have put one right here. It'd have been cool. Got a nice Decepticon. I'm a Decepticon. But it does move. I mean, they said it. I mean, on the packaging, whenever I first got it, it said it's a gun, but it resembles more of a blade. Like you just come through and slash stuff. I mean, they say it's a gun, but I'm calling it a blade because it looks like a blade. And no wrist articulation, which I'm actually okay with that on this figure. I mean, I'm fine with it. And then he does have these hips that can move down and up and back. As you can see, look. Get that. You see it moves back, and that's due to his transformation. Has a knee swivel, and he bends. Get this out of the way. Bends very far at the knee. And that's mainly... Oops, sorry, I'm out of camera. That's mainly due to his transformation. Son of a gun! Let me get that. I mean, rough handling with the figure. I was kind of pulling on the leg a little bit, but they do pop off, and you can just... You gotta put your finger right here to keep this thing from moving backwards, and then just... There we go. I mean, they pop off, and you can put it back on. And then he has, like, these toes, like these forked toes. These here are a little bit loose. So I'm just going to use this here where it's stiffer. I mean... As you can see, you can move each toe. They don't move far, they don't move up as much as I would like them to. I mean, don't move up, but they do come all the way down. That's mainly due to his transformation. And he has very good ankle pivot. See, bend that way. Coming this way. He comes in that way very far. And my inspiration for doing this channel, Shartimus Prime, would love this. As he would say, a beautiful ankle pivot. Not stealing that from... Well, I kind of stole it, but I'm still giving credit to Shartimus Prime because he's the one who created the ankle pivot. Well, he didn't create ankle pivot, but he created that little way of saying it, ankle pivot. And he has... move this. And he does have this chest joint where he can crunch back a little bit. And he has these flaps that move up and down due to his transformation. But overall, this robot form, it is, I'm surprised, I was actually surprised at the amount of detail they put into it. You know, especially for, you know, leader class and Voyager class, you know, they put slightly more detail into it. But this here, you know, it's pretty darn good. And, you know, I gotta say, I am impressed, even though I'm saying that like 10 years later. Now, let's get into the first transformation. I am going to. He never really transformed into his robot form, so we really don't know. And for a guess, this is actually pretty good. I like this. But now we are going to transform him into his space cruiser mode, which we never saw in the movie, alongside with his robot form that we never saw. So, gonna unpeg this from the side. You know, as always with Transformers, straighten out all the limbs, get them all straight and sturdy and out of focus. Let me focus this back in real quick. Okay, now that we're back in focus, first thing you're going to want to do, you're going to want to tilt his face all the way down. He has this little flap right here, and you're just going to bring this up, and it's going to cover up his face. And then you're going to come under his armpit and push on his armpit. Very stiff. Push up on that. Very good. And then you're going to take his arms and you're going to bend these all the way in and tuck that underneath. And do the same for this side. Tuck his armpit underneath, kind of like a monkey. Yeah, ooh, ooh, ah. I know that was lame. And then what we're going to do, we're going to turn it around and come over to this side. And we're just going to bring these out like so. Bring these out. And then we're going to, this here part here is very loose. As you can see, it's very loose. Very loose. I wish, it was tighter. That's what he said. And then we're just going to fold his feet. Bring them out like this. Fold his feet. Twist this way and bring it up and bend his knee. Like so. And make sure his feet are behind this flappy part. And then do the same for this. Twist it sideways and bring it on up. Be careful not to pop the knee joints out, because as I did a while ago. And peg it together like so. And then just angle these out, and it has a hinge right here. You just twist it and then do that. Straighten this out. And here he is in his cruiser mode. And he's a pretty big cruiser. I'm going to slant it so that way y'all can see it. I guess, he'll fly through space. And I always angle his feet upward just to keep this here from flapping so much. Just angle his feet a little bit more. There we go. And there is his cruiser, and he has an arc reactor right here, which isn't really an arc reactor, but I'm calling it that. I mean, that's what Shartimus Prime would call it. Yeah, he probably would call it that. But, again, even in his this vehicle mode, sculpted, it's pretty cool, man. And then there's his face right there for his satellite mode. And then right back here we have his jet boosters. And then we have the... quit peeking. No peeking. No peeking. And this right here, kind of looks like fingers. He's just like, hello. Hello. No peeking. No peeking. Okay, so that is it for this vehicle mode. Now we are going to transform him into his satellite mode, which isn't much different from this, except for you're going to bring this down, and this is on a ball joint, and you're just going to twist this sideways, bring this down, twist this sideways, and just lift these up like so. And then here he is in his satellite mode. I tend to just do this sometimes for a cruiser mode. You know, I mean, to me it looks better. I should have said that while he was in cruiser mode. And this is him in his satellite mode. And this is whenever he flew into the thing and put this part, hooked this here arc reactor, I'm gonna call it that, hooked up this part to the satellite, and some like little tentacles and things came around, and that's how he was able to hack into the bases and whatnot. Yep. This is I actually like this figure. It's up there in one of my favorites. And here he is compared to Decepticon Barricade. And as you can see, he is wider, considering these right here. If you put them side by side, he is definitely longer. That's what she said. And here he is compared to Armorhide. Pretty cool. Is compared to Bumblebee. So yeah, pretty much overall, love the figure, excellent figure. If you're a Transformers collector, I do recommend it. And well guys, this is going to conclude the end of this video. Please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment, check out the rest of my videos, KaijuReviews. If you want any of these magnificent figures, you can get them at www.bigbadtoystore.com. And be on the lookout for Pacific Rim figures. I cannot guarantee those, but I do guarantee a Godzilla 2014. I'm gonna say 2014. A Godzilla 1995 Burning Godzilla figure review from NECA. And until next time, guys. Later.